Hello everyone, this is Nanan, and here is a review of the Ninjago Visual Dictionary that came out in the middle of September, so just recently. And I received a copy of this book because one of my creations was featured in it, so the company sent me one. And I'll go ahead and take a look and tell you more about it. So essentially, this is a book that covers all of the Ninjago products from its release in 2011 until the present day, and it features the characters, the vehicles, the building sets, and a little bit of extras, including comics, also a little bit of behind-the-scenes look. So, first off, let's talk about the minifigures. This is a minifigure of Zane Rebooted. He is actually not exclusive to this book, unlike some of the previous minifigures. He is found in another set, which will be mentioned later in this book. But here's what he looks like in the front, and here is what he looks like in the back. So, going on to the book, again with this typical Lego DK publications, they tend to have a model and then have little text boxes labeling parts of the model, or have little labels like weapons and vehicles, etc. Table of contents, introduction, you can read it on your own by pausing the video should you choose. And then this is a list of all the Ninjago sets from 2011 onward. And as you can see, the set has undergone quite a few changes from mostly from the villains that the Ninjago are fighting. So what I find interesting in this book is that it dedicates each, I guess, a full-page layout to each of the main characters, the 4 different ninjas, and I guess 5 if you count the Golden Ninja, but it dedicates a full spread to each ninja and also each main character, and it talks about their transformations and also about their vehicles that they use and their weapons and all the interesting tidbits about it. So for me, it's good to know like some of the things. For example, I never knew that Zhang was a Ninjoid, which is a cyborg, and until I read the book, so it's pretty interesting find there. Again, for those of you who don't know my background, I actually don't follow Ninjago as much since I don't watch the cartoon or keep up with the comics, but I have been building with Lego since well, a very long time, but I've been sharing my works online with the Lego community since 2004, so that's about a decade ago. This is a comic that is included in there, and then next you have a few sets, mostly the bases, and then dragons. This is a very fun page because all the Ninjago dragons are very popular, and some of the sold out ones are really expensive on the aftermarket, and it's nice to see them all together in one spread. And more mechs. I really like the black one, which was mentioned in one of my earlier reviews. It's very well designed. And then this next section is dedicated to the enemies. So first we start with the classic Lord Garmadon. You can read about his history right there. And also the Skeleton Army, which is the first set of enemies that the Ninjago faced against. The different minions and the different vehicles. There's descriptions about all of them. And next we have the snakes. So this was interesting because Lego made, apparently there's different tribes of these snakes, and they all have distinguishing features. So Lego summarized that with a half-page layout for each of the tribe right here. So that's, I guess, the Venomari tribe, the Vampire tribe, and then marked with their red and white printings, and then also the blue and yellow printings for the Hypno-Bray tribe. Again, I don't really follow the storyline very much, but it's interesting to know that these exist and kind of clarifies what these minifigures are, since I do own a few myself. So the next one is another comic featuring the snakes and the Ninjago, and then next we move on to the Stone Army, which I didn't know that's who they are called. I just refer to them as the red and black minifigures. So apparently they are stone armies that were unearthed by the snake tribe people. So again, a little bit of history there is also pretty interesting to read on that. And then next we have the robots, or the Ninjoids, the androids that the Ninjago are fighting against, and which is up until now, I think this is the most current thing for Ninjago. Of course, they're coming out with new ones in 2015. So this next section is about the promotional sets and the special stuff like the spinners, which I believe kind of died off in 2012. Yeah, that's the last year that they were released, but nevertheless they are fascinating. They don't really spin well, but they're kind of a novelty item that people can collect. This is a battle arena and then some booster packs. I think they're a little bit overpriced. And the trading cards, which not sure if I have any opinion on that. I didn't really find them to be interesting myself, but again, they're not really geared towards adults. So promotional sets, mostly polybags. I remember this one was pretty popular. And then the last section is dedicated to some of the behind-the-scenes works, like interviews with the lead designer, and then also some of the designing process, which is pretty generic because you can't really go into much detail in just a few paragraphs. And then some merchandise, watches, flashlights, and this section is about fan builds, so that's my creation right over there, which I built last year around December, and then a few other ones. So not many fans built in the Ninjago theme. Again, it's not a very popular theme among adults, it's mostly towards kids. And I know as a kid, I would definitely have loved Ninjago. I remember when I was a kid, the first Ninja line came out in 1998, and I really enjoyed that. So now I can only imagine that kids must be very excited about Ninjago. So TV series, I did not watch a single episode of that for good reason. It's been a while since I've watched cartoons. And video games, which I did not know existed, but there they are. And then this is cool, a list of all the different Ninjago characters. So pretty comprehensive right there up until the last line, 2014. So index, and then the very end, there is the book. So overall, Ninjago is a very popular line that's warranting its own book. And I believe this is not the first one book dedicated to Ninjago. I know for sure there's a sticker book which I purchased just for the stickers and my creation that I've shown you in the book, but obviously it's a very popular theme. It's one that will be continued, as mentioned in the introduction paragraph right there. So looking forward to more from the set because they do offer unique elements that I can use for building my own creations. So hope you enjoyed this very quick review, and we'll see you next time. Actually, I'll see you next time.